Afghan police in charge of the streets of their capital. After years of security provided by ISAF, this August responsibility for the safety of Kabul city became Afghan-led. This marks a significant milestone in the development of Afghan security forces and builds on their achievements in resurrecting the army and police force over the last few years. Hundreds of members of the Afghan security forces can now be seen on the streets of Kabul, providing a visible deterrent to those who would seek to terrorise its population. But of course they face a huge challenge. The east of the country has seen increasing levels of violence over the last year. However, the capital region has remained relatively peaceful, and so far there's optimism over this first security handover.
Keeping the security, especially of the capital of Afghanistan, Kabul, is one of our natural duty and job. Since we got the security of Kabul province, it's going very well, and we are doing very well. We increased the number of A&P in the Kabul city to fulfill the needs and requirements of security in the city. And also we have launched a screening operation in the city in order to avoid kidnapping, in order to avoid suicide attacks, illegal selling of drugs, and also entering of the illegal vehicles in the city in order to properly keep the security. And it has a lot of good and positive progress.
The situation today contrasts sharply with the ruined system of government that existed just a few years ago.
If we have a glance of, for example, 4 years back, actually the system of policing in the country was entirely collapsed by the Taliban regime. It was changed to a militia system. After the international support for Afghanistan, we started to develop the training police forces in the country. Now this training and also experience have brought us in this position to keep the security of the capital of Afghanistan and expand it into the provinces.
The process of security transfer in Afghanistan is continually evolving based on the progress made on the ground. ISAF has remained involved with security, working closely with their Afghan counterparts and ready to provide any help that's requested.
The continuation of a relationship of ISAF and Afghan security forces not cut. We have a relationship, very close relationship. We need the support of ISAF here in the Kabul city and also out of the Kabul city and to the other provinces.
This transfer of security marks a big step forward for the government of Afghanistan. But the really important factor is how the people on the streets view their security situation.
Things have changed since ISAF came to Afghanistan. Things have gotten better. Ever since they have transferred the security responsibility to the Afghan National Police and Army, things have changed. The security condition in Kabul is very good, but we are faced with unemployment and joblessness. Security is linked to the economy. If they want to have tight security, they should work on the economic well-being of the people. If the economic well-being of the people is improved, the security will get better. Looting, stealing, and other crimes all happens as a result of unemployment. I don't think that the security situation has changed in Kabul. We have the same problems that we used to have with the security. Nothing has changed. Right now, the security situation is very good in Kabul, and there was no fighting, and the number of suicide bombing has dropped. But I don't know about security situation in other provinces.
But security is not just about preventing suicide bombs and insurgent attacks. People want to feel safe in their homes and confident of being able to go about their daily business. Across Afghanistan this year, kidnapping has become a serious problem, particularly targeting businessmen and anybody deemed to be capable of paying a ransom.
Yes, my neighbor was kidnapped and he was taken for someone else, but he was released soon after. He was not a rich man and they confused him with someone else.
It's a problem the authorities will need to tackle quickly if they're not to lose the confidence of the population.
Kidnapping cases are low down. We have had a few kidnapping events in the city, but it was not as high as it was reflected in the media. Now, in Kabul city especially, we have had a few kidnapping issues. We also arrested a lot of groups who were involved in such kidnapping cases.
Kidnapping, usually by criminal gangs, is one thing, but insurgent attacks require a whole new level of policing skills the Afghans are becoming increasingly adept at. Good intelligence and swift action by Afghan security forces has been credited with the prevention of many terrorist attacks on the Afghan capital this year. This is, of course, just the beginning of the Afghan resumption of responsibility for their security, but the move sends a strong signal to the Afghan people that their security forces are up to the job. This is David Heathfield in Kabul for NATO Channel.